guys, John here at 1984 Barbecue. Part 3 of how I do my brisket is the cooking process. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. Guys, I'm out here at the pit. I run my briskets generally on my GMG Jim Bowie Choice. They call this the Choice now. They have a line of Prime now. This is their Choice. This was the original one they brought out for the Jim Bowie. It was their biggest one at the time. Okay. I mean, I do have other cookers. As you can tell, I got my Pit Boss over there, Pit Barrel right there, obviously the Blackstone. Well, it's kind of hard to see because it's dark. But a Weber Smoky Joe, Weber Performer, Weber Master Touch, okay, and then the drum smoker right there. And then over there is my Charborough Big Easy. All right. So anyways, guys, so currently when I'm running here, I got it set at 200 degrees, and we're currently running 186. The reason that is because I just put a cold piece of meat in there, and it's very cold, okay? Straight out of the refrigerator is how I run my meat. And the pellets here, see I got a full hopper of pellets. This is about a 18-pound hopper, okay? And I'm running their Texas blend, which is oak and hickory and mesquite, I believe, off the top of my head. Okay. Anyways, as you can tell, it's running about 175 at the top, trying to slowly climb up. I just literally put this on, guys. It has not been on that long. And like I said, we're climbing back up. We're at 189 now. Let's take a quick peek real quick. Alrighty, guys, that's how I run my brisket. I put on these two smoke shelves here. They're designed for just smoking, but I do not put it directly on the rack because that's directly over the heat. So I'll turn my light on so y'all can see. But there's the brisket, guys, all seasoned up. I added just a little bit more extra seasoning after that, so when I took it out of the refrigerator, I added just a little bit more sprinkled. But I've got the point facing towards my stack and the flat facing this way, because on my GMG, guys, sorry about that, on my GMG, guys, it runs cooler over here and hotter this way, so I wanted to put the thickest part of the meat towards the heat. And I'm going to let this roll, guys, for, I don't know, I'm going to let it roll for pretty much all night long, but I'm going to leave it roll this way probably for about 2 hours, and then I'll probably rotate it at some point, or I may not, and just let it roll. But I run it on my GMG pellet smoker. Let me get this lid closed, guys. Alright, so I run this on my GMG because it's the biggest grill I have, and this is a monster. Normally I can run 2 on my top racks, and as you can tell, that took up almost the entire thing. So I'm just going to run it in here. That way, you know, if you're in for comfort, if you want, you know, comfort or whatever, I say comfort, but if you don't want to stay up all night long with it, this is the way to go. If you don't, if you have another grill, then, you know, obviously you're going to stay up with it and monitor temps and things like that. I can still monitor my temps. Like I said, I'm running at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. This has the option to run on an app on your phone, but I don't use it. But I've gone to bed before for 4 hours or 5 hours and got up and checked on it. It's been fine. So it's really up to you guys. But whatever pit you can run about 225 on charcoal if you want to, or if you have a pellet grill, you can run at 200. But I would start at about 225 at this time of night and let it run low and slow, okay? So I'll bring you guys back here in about, I don't know, 2 hours or so. We'll check on it. See you then. Guys, it's a little after 6. So, we've had this, I would tell you this in the last shot we did around 11, after 11. So it's been on for about roughly 6 hours now, okay? And the temperature here, you see my breath is in the 40s where I live at, maybe the lower 30s, right around the low 40s, probably around 40ish. It's been running at 200 degrees on the GMG. I did have to add pellets though, and the great thing about the GMG Choice that I told you about I'm running on has a pellet alarm in it, so it was going off. So I set my alarm for 6. When I went to bed I had like 4 hours and something, and I got up and my alarm was going off. So and that was with a full thing of pellets, and it was about the alarm was a little less than over halfway down. So It burned through a little bit of pellets, but again, it's colder, so it's going to do that. So that's full. I had not looked at this brisket, guys. So we're going to look at our brisket now. Alright, as you tell, the top dome is running about, it's running roughly about just shy of 225. Our PDI is running at 200. Let's take a look at this brisket. I know it's dark out here, guys. You can make it out, but it's got a nice bark on it. The bark is set, and that's one thing you want to check for if your bark is set. If your bark isn't set, then you don't need to spray it. But you can tell there is some liquid there in the point. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to bring it back and let you see what it looks like on that side, okay? There, we got this brisket turned. Got smoke roll out of there. Alright, so we are going to spray it. And all I'm using is water, guys. Just water on this. Now you want to make sure that you get all the sides of it. Now guys, during this process of the water, you don't have to use water. You can use and I gotta switch hands. You can use beef broth, beef stock, whatever you want to use to spritz that brisket, okay? Let me get this shut down here. Oh heck. Make sure you move your sprayer out of the way on this one. Alright, oops, sorry. Alright, sorry about the camera, guys. I'm by myself. Alright. So we spritzed our brisket. It's been on about 6 hours. Okay. And I just spritzed it with water. You can spritz it with beef stock, beef broth, beef consomme, whatever you want to spritz with. Some people even use some sort of pomegranate juice, okay? T-Roy Cooks. I'll leave a link up here in the iCard for his channel as well, for one of his brisket cooks. Y'all check him out too. The sprayer I use, in case you're asking, right here, big orange sprayer. I got it from Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right. I'll leave a link below for it. I think it was about 25 bucks for it, but you can use any sprayer, guys. You can use go to your local hardware store and just get a spray bottle. Works just as well, but if you're interested in this one, what it is it has a pump on it, and you can pump it up like that, and then you can just spray it, and it sprays a fine mist. You can change the directions and stuff on the nozzle. So anyways, guys, it's probably now about, I don't know, 6:20ish or so. Got our brisket turned. The bark is definitely set. That's one thing you want to remember, is to check the bark. You just take your finger and kind of scrape at it. If it comes off a little bit, it's not set. If it stays on there, it's set, okay? So what I'm going to do now is, guys, I'm going to bring you down here. I'm going to turn up my controller to 250 now, okay, to 250. And now I'm going to raise my heat. Now, if you're on a charcoal grill, let's talk about this. Obviously, if you're running a stick burner or you're running charcoal, okay, you've been out mending your fire if you're a stick burner every 45 minutes to an hour. If you're a charcoal guy, you're probably checking on it about every hour, maybe a little more, depending on what kind of setup you use and how you use it, okay? But generally, guys, some people about every hour go out and turn their briskets or turn their meat for even cooking. Like I said, if you got a pellet cooker that you trust, I trust my GMG, guys, okay? That Pit Boss over here, right there, I wouldn't trust that right now to run over my, run all night. That particular model anyways, but that's a different story. I'll leave an iCard above to the review for that. Anyways, we're gonna let this brisket go now. I'm looking for color, guys. I go by color on my briskets, temperatures and all that. But if you're going by temperature, okay, you want to shoot for an internal temperature of 160 degrees. You can get a instant read thermometer, which I highly recommend, or you can get probes to put in and it'll read it throughout the cook, We'll get into all that here shortly, okay? So it's a little after, it's like I said, 6:30ish probably now, 6:25, something like that. We'll go inside and get some stuff together, but we'll come back out here and check on this probably around 7:30ish or so, okay? So that'll be around 7 hours or so. We'll see you then. All right, let's take a look at this brisket, guys. Now y'all can get a better look, see at it. There it is. It's the point end. It's looking good, guys. We're a little over an hour and something from the last time we did this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this again. Point side to that end, flat side to this end. I'm going to spritz it. And that's how we're going to continuously do this, guys. Okay? That's how we're going to continuously do this until... I like the color I got, so I'm probably going to get a probe in it here shortly. See where we're at, and I'll bring you back when we get to that point. Of our brisket, since we haven't checked it this entire time, I've just been basing this all off color, guys. Okay, all off color. I want to show you something too. The probe itself, guys, is right here. It's like a little divot, but that's the probe right there. Okay. So you want to do is you want to come in and you want to check the thickest part of the brisket. All right, we're reading about 157 in that thickest part of the brisket. Okay, come over here and I'm going to hit it right there. 154, 155. So that's about right. Let's take a look at what we got in the point, shall we? Our point's reading about 182, 194. I mean, that's the thing about briskets, guys. Don't panic about that. It's okay. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to get a probe into this flat piece right here. The thickest part of the brisket. Just about like that. As you can tell, we're reading about 157. Okay. Now, guys, this comes to the part where people decide what they're going to do, okay? Eventually, this brisket's going to hit the stall. It could hit the stall now. It could hit the stall later. A lot of people wrap the brisket at color, okay? Some people don't wrap at all, okay? So, if you're going to wrap your brisket, I generally tend, if I'm going to wrap it, go about 160 to 165. But I keep an eye on that temperature. If that hasn't moved in another hour to 2 hours, then it's probably in the stall, okay? But generally, I got the color I want. I could wrap it, but I'm not going to right now. But if you hit 160 to 165 is generally a number that I go with personally on when to wrap. Now, wrapping, okay? If you're going to wrap your brisket, there's two ways to wrap it, or you don't have to wrap it all. If you don't wrap it all and just let it push on through, that's good. You can do that. If you want to speed up the process a little bit, you can do what they call the Texas Crunch, which is basically wrapping it in aluminum foil, add some sort of a liquid or no liquid, and putting it back in. It basically steams the brisket, speed it up, push it through. I've done that. Okay. Now you see the bark that we had. Now that will soften that bark up a little bit, so you're going to have to open it up and try to get your bark back. Something I've been doing here recently that I haven't really done before, and I really do like doing it this way, is what they call butcher's paper. And you can go to your local barbecue shop if you got one local, or you can go to Amazon to find it. But butcher's paper, pink butcher's paper, and wrap it in that. Now that will save your bark. Okay, it'll save your bark. It doesn't have the same steaming effect because it saves the bark, because it allows it to breathe. I've done it both ways, guys, and either way works great. I honestly right now prefer the butcher's paper way, but again, everybody does it differently, guys, so you just kind of have to choose on what you want to do. You can try it the Texas Crunch way in the aluminum foil or in the butcher's paper, and I'll show you how I wrap it in the butcher's paper when we get there to that point. Alright, so I'm going to let this brisket run on through, guys, and I'll bring you back when we get ready to pull this brisket off and wrap it, okay? We're over the 13-hour mark. It's hit 170. That's where I took it to because I wanted the color. Beautiful color on this brisket. Not there yet. It's got a little bit of a jiggle to it, but we're not there yet. This is butcher's paper, guys. Like I said, you can wrap this in aluminum foil, you can wrap it in butcher's paper, or you don't have to wrap it at all. You can just let it go on through. But I'm going to go with butcher's paper today. I would suggest 24-inch butcher's paper, but I got 18-inch butcher's paper, so I just doubled them up, okay? Now, I am going to spray just around the outside of the brisket, and I'm going to give this a light coating of water over top of my brisket, like so, okay? Now, and it's windy, guys, so bear with me. I'm going to bring this butcher's paper over. I got this stand here so it doesn't blow away on me. Move that out of the way. Alright, I'm going to bring this butcher's paper over this way, like so. I'm going to bring this over this way. Like I said, the 24-inch would be a lot better, for sure. This isn't normally how I like to wrap it, guys. Hang on, we're going to redo that because I don't like that, guys. Alright. That's what I want right there. See, it's on two different butcher's paper, guys, so I got the wrong ends all mixed up. Again, this is not how I normally wrap it because this is tuck it in there, tuck it in there. We're going to have an opening, so we're going to need more butcher's paper. I'm going to wrap, let's see, that's the fat cap, guys. Alright, that's our bark end down. Now we're just going to try to tuck this in as best we can. Again, this was a botched paper job on this today. But I'm going to get it back on the pit. I'm going to have the point facing towards the heat. I'm going to get my probe back in here. We're going to take this to around 203 or so, and then we're going to check it out for tenderness. So it is 12:39 now, so 12:40 we're going to put this back on the pit. And I will bring you back when we get ready to pull it off. See you then. Alright guys, this brisket's done. Well, it's saying it's done, let's put it that way. It's been about almost a 15-hour cook on this brisket, 15-hour cook. So the ThermalWorks dot is showing 204. We're going to test it using our ThermalWorks thermal pin to see if how tender it is. Okay, so let's take a look at this brisket. See, we got it wrapped in our butcher's paper. It's reading 204. So let's take a look here and see how tender it is, okay? So we're going to get all this paper. 197, 201. Get back here to the point. Oh, that went right in like butter, 212. Yeah. Yeah, that's like butter, guys. And it's just the paper I'm going through. Yeah, that's like butter. That is done, my friends. Alright, I'm going to pull this brisket off. And we're going to wrap it in a towel here, like this. And then we're going to put it in our cooler. And we're going to put this baby to rest. It's a 352, so you'll say probably about 350. Actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. If we put it in the cooler, I'm going to set it over here on my table, and I'm going to let it rest for probably 10 minutes, just out, out in the air. Try to let it stop cooking. and then I'm going to wrap it up. So we'll probably be putting this in the cooler about 10 after 4, and then we're going to let it rest for at least 2 hours. So probably... Alright guys, we're at the end of the video, and I forgot to hit record on the video. So, sorry about that guys. My mistake. Alright, so up here, shoot, I can't get that right for nothing. Up here, there's going to be some pictures, and they're going to be of the brisket and the cuts and slices that we did. It turned out really good, guys. It was tender. It was right where we wanted it to. There were some spots that were a little more peeled than I wanted it to be. Pull apart, I mean. But anyways, guys, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought, what you would do differently. If you want to reach me without leaving a comment, you can reach me on the email. I'll leave it down in the description box. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Consider hitting that bell to let you know when I release new videos. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a great night. I hope you enjoyed this video, enjoyed this series. We'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys.